And just make you want to get up and shake my little tail feather a little bit.
It's the 90s, Hacksaw! Get on board!
So you people think I ain't serious, you better take a look at me again.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Hey, there we go. Look at us. We did it again. Another 7 days around the sun. Welcome to WCW Deep Cuts Live. It's the place we gather normally at 9 o'clock every Tuesday, this week at 8:30, to celebrate the forgotten television classics of WCW World Championship Wrestling in the 90s and tonight 2000. Welcome to everybody in the chat. I see Will Scott, Jonathan Mayer, a reliable arbiter who I met the other day in Scotland Green, Mr. Green Mist's chat. Hello. Speaking of Scotland, just going to say it up front because we got to get into the show. Hey, Fire Pro Spooky. As soon as we're done tonight, we're going to go do a raid of Scotland stream. Scotland's going to be starting right around the time that we're stopping here tonight for a special Mardi Gras Pro Wrestling potluck, late night wrestling with Scotland. I'm going to pop over there. I hope all of you do too. Welcome Xander Victus, Masked Heel, Number One Gunkle. See more folks pouring in. Again, early start. Kind of like one of those pay-per-view pregame shows where like nobody's in the building. Hey, Saki Hydrox, welcome. And as always, remember this stream is sponsored by Nitro, the incredible rise and inevitable collapse of Ted Turner's WCW, the expanded edition with 4 bonus chapters, a new foreword from Eric Bischoff, dozens of new tidbits, expanded image section with lots of great pictures. The show formats and scripts, of course, those things that they handed to Larry Zbyszko and Tony Schiavone halfway through Nitro every week, and over 100 footnotes to the original story. Again, I say this every week, not just saying it because I get money when you buy it, but it is the best, most well-researched wrestling book I've ever read. So get on that. But right now we're going to go to Deutschland, Oberhausen, and watch WCW Millennium Tour 2000 from February 2000. Let's go. And I'm going to say this up front. If you are only wearing one earbud and you do not hear the show audio, please make sure to switch earbuds. Starting off hot with the ICP, the Insane Clown Posse. Always let me know if the show audio is too high, too low, etc. Look at these great Microsoft PowerPoint graphics we got going. Hey, a shirt out comes. Welcome. Look at this packed house in Oberhausen. So yeah, WCW is kind of in the pits at this point. This is the in-between period between the two Russo runs. He had left, sold out the month before, and just kind of left the company in ruins, even though he had been forced away. I love that entrance, by the way. That's like an updated Nitro entrance, not the one with the weird logo, but like the OG Nitro entrance. So it's Ed Ferrara and Kevin Sullivan booking the show. Yes, look at that woman dressed like Raven. That's a great Raven costume. Even nailed his like 97 perm. Of course, this is the year 2000. Alright, tell Bender I said hello as well. Miss Old Bender. Did my best. Hey, Fanzine97. I believe I recognize you too from Scotland's chat. Welcome. Hey, Nathan. What's up? As apparently the Nitro Girls are giving birth to steam. This is the updated Nitro Girls. I think it's Spice. Maybe I see Tigress there. And Stacy Keebler. What was her name? Ice, maybe? Sky, I think is her name because she's tall. This is how you can tell that like nothing on this show is canon, because the Nitro Girls hadn't been on TV as the Nitro Girls in months. Look at those monitors. They're not even monitors, they're just like TVs they bought. I get that a TV is a monitor, but normally you don't see monitors that are just straight up TVs you bought from like Walmart. Super Wrestling? Why hasn't that been a show named Super Wrestling? Tyler Breeze with the Nitro Girls boots. Look at all those wires. This is the stuff that the American companies are normally very good at hiding. These poor dudes, they just threw all the stuff on this table and it's like, here you go. Yeah, can you tell who produced the show? Judging by the fact that Premiere World is on everything? I love how kind of badass the hardcore wrestler Norman Smiley sounds with a German accent.
Geht Bruder gegen Bruder und das ist natürlich eine der härtesten Angelegenheiten, die man sich vorstellen kann. Booker T gegen Stevie Ray.
Booker T. Again, a German accent can make the lamest wrestler sound really cool. Here we go, we're gonna raise the roof in Oberhausen. But here comes the heel. Stevie Ray. At this point, if you remember, Arnold and Mina turned on each other. Because Vince Russo, what he does when he comes into companies, is he sees all the tag teams and he's like, you all need to break up now. That would be funny, Soggy Hydrock. They pitched the international team and it's Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko. That'd be great. But no, so Stevie Ray and Booker T had a match at Sold Out where Ahmed Johnson, I believe, debuted as Big T. I believe this is right before. If he didn't lose it Sold Out, he lost it at Super Brawl. No, he lost it at Sold Out, so yeah, I think it's just Booker here. That's right, okay. Sorry, I'm jogging my own memory. Yeah, he's just Booker here. And I don't think they'd gotten to the point where he lost the music yet, so they're just gonna let the Kids in the Hall Perfume Skit song keep playing. Yeah, so I think the reason why they called him Booker T and why he still gets the music... Oh, they turned off the music. Okay, no, it's back on. Okay, so the TV in Germany is behind like 3 or 4 weeks. So on the German TV, they're feuding, but he hasn't lost the letter yet, and he hasn't lost the music. Is the CD skipping? I'm a fan of how, like, they're just straight up, whoever designed the setup for this show is like, I hate the new WCW logo. We're just gonna put WCW in red font on everything. Yeah, I think Booker's wearing his new gear. He lost a match where he couldn't use flames, he couldn't use the T, he couldn't use the music. So I think he's just wearing his new gear. Just the black trunks, the black shiny trunks. Alright, Nathan, that makes sense, Nathan. That it's a short song. But I feel like it played like 4 or 5 times between the two of them. Referee Slick Johnson, the only referee I hate more than Nick Patrick. One Roman Reigns entrance. Yes, that man takes so long to walk to the ring. I'll look out for that. I haven't seen it yet. Somebody up front has a Sting mask on the back of their head. Yep, that's right. Clarence Mason. Clarence Mason at first was brought in as Chris Canyon's manager, and then they switched him over real quick. It was, God, what was his name? It wasn't Clarence Mason. Not Luther Biggs. Jay Biggs was his name in WCW.
Wirklich sehr, sehr nett empfangen worden ist. Ja, bei Stevie Ray schaut es ein bisschen anders aus. Der hat zwar auch so seine Fans, aber provoziert natürlich ein bisschen mehr. Jetzt kommt offenbar die ganz große Idee von Booker T.
I love how cheap Stevie Ray's fire font looks on his tights.
Muss auf jeden Fall sein.
Ja, und die Stimmung hier bei der Millennium Tour. Wirklich fantastisch, auch in Hamburg. Ausverkauftes Haus.
Wow. Heftiger Schulterblock von Stevie Ray. Leapfrog.
Hey, Stat, welcome. Appreciate you joining in. Just in time, the first match just started. I appreciate Stevie Ray telling the German language announcers to say something in English. Hello, Viva La Fran. Welcome. Oh, we're gonna get some English mic work in Germany. Here we go. It looked like they put the ring and they put the commentators behind the guardrail, which would be very funny. Okay, so I'm going to translate it. Okay, that makes more sense. It does a shirt outcome. It looks like you tried to make like a WCW arena in AEW Fight Forever. And they don't have like a logo creator, so you just had to type WCW.
Ja, das ist ein gefährlicher Job als Kommentator.
Das ist ein heftiger Job, aber kneifen tut dann doch nicht.
Also mit Stevie Ray sich annehmen.
So yeah, the show was all put together by the TV station that aired WCW in Germany, the cable company.
Ich setz auf Stevie Ray.
Das war clever von Stevie Ray. Und sofort die Tritte hinterher. Ja, da hat sein Bruder eine Sekunde geschlafen und das nutzt er aus. Der kräftige Mann schickt jetzt seinen Bruder übers Dritte seiner
Alright, I had to send it a text.
Aber eine, die
I look up and Booker T's getting laid out on the floor. Yeah, no, that logo didn't appear on TV almost ever. Like, WWE used it a little bit when they didn't use their version of the WCW logo. But yeah, it was mostly like just the WCW magazine logo. Because people couldn't tell that thing was supposed to say WCW. Weird. When he'll show up in a foreign language like Germany and cut a promo in a foreign language that isn't that language. That'd be great. Also a big fan of them counting the 10 in English. This is a crowd that watches American television, and I appreciate them for it.
Und natürlich Mark Johnson kümmert sich sofort darum, ob da was passiert ist oder nicht. Oh mein Gott!
Oh my god! That is the most epic sounding back elbow off the ropes ever. Oh my god!
Ja, und jetzt setzt sich momentan seine Kraft durch. Mark Johnson übrigens, der Referee hier in diesem Match. Das war ihm gerade ein Two-Count und er setzt wieder nach. Whippen in die Ecke, da kommt der Big Boot. Der sitzt und die Running Clothesline und da
What a gracious bump by Booker T for such a gentle clothesline.
Die hat gesessen, diese Aktion.
Ja, die Flammen nicht nur auf der Hose, sondern heute wirklich auch in den Fäusten. Und
Double Reverse Sherlock.
jetzt braucht er Unterstützung hier aus der Halle und die kriegt er.
Yeah, I love that about Fantastic Mania over in Japan. They are so detail-oriented.
In den Oberarmen natürlich.
Yeah, it's a blast hearing, like, non-English commentary and finding out what terms they either don't have words for or just commit to the English version, because that's the most famous verbiage. 9-9.
Kleiner Stich in die Augen.
Ja, das war clever.
Sehr geschickt gemacht von Stevie Ray.
Standing Sidekick hinterher.
You know, for two guys who I assume grew up wrestling each other as like kids on the couch, they really have nothing in the tank with each other. No way. Stevie, you're not going up top, buddy.
Mit Sicherheit.
Mit Sicherheit. Ich meine, käme sich ja nackt vor. Nee, das klappt.
Yeah, there's no chemistry, which is, I mean, it happens sometimes with like brothers or tag teams. Like Matt and Jeff Hardy didn't have a lot of chemistry when they wrestled each other. Like, it happens. But yeah, it's surprising. And like Booker T's had better matches with worse wrestlers than Stevie Ray. There's nothing here. These guys kind of seem like they don't want to be wrestling each other.
Und macht das einzig Richtige. Gönnt seinem Bruder keine Ruhepause.
Oh. Hey, Drugs. Welcome. Glad to have you. And we're still in the first match. Booker T and Stevie Ray have decided to just drone. Stevie Ray, like half of his body was under the bottom rope. Why does Booker think he won? Why did they play the music? What? The slapjack! Oh, he got like maybe a half a foot off the ground for that. What's the point of doing the other thing? Just doing bullshit just to do it in the opener. Yeah, why even do the false finish? Like when the next spot is the actual finish and the same guy is still winning. But it was worth it for Slapjack! I mean, yeah, but I mean, you can still do the bookend without having to do the thing under the rope. I mean, at the end of the day, it means nothing, but it's just, like... I don't know, you guys are having a boring match anyway. Why try to overcomplicate things? Come on. Doug Dillinger got flown over. Hey, Waza! I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. 1405, welcome. Thank you for bringing the crackers and flat soda. Hey, Steve isn't cool. You are cool, in my opinion. Thanks for following. Waza, that is not Hulk Hogan, and if you would insinuate that Booker T is Hulk Hogan, he would be mad at you. But nonetheless, welcome. What? They have Atmosphere from American Gladiators over there? The TV's so behind that, like, these fans still think that NWO 2000 is the cool thing. Also, way to spoil the surprise. I think I'm being pranked. Is that The Rock? I wish.
Nitro Girls. Ich denke mal, da haben sich insbesondere die männlichen Fans gefreut.
What is Sting's defacing his own 8x10s?
Er hat eine gute Zeit hier in Deutschland, ist gerne in Deutschland. Und wir sehen jetzt wirklich gigantische Bilder. Da haben wir Norman Smiley, Spice.
Yeah, so, spoiler alert, Sting wasn't promoted for this show. He was a surprise, and they just throw him out there.
Wrestler. Sie haben wirklich alles gegeben, dass dies ein super Event wird. Und das alles.
No, this aired, whatever the German pay-per-view, provider was. Hey, Mac. Welcome. Thank you for following. David Arquette is not on this tour. Look at... That's creepy. Dude, getting a replica to Germany. I remember they would advertise them in the magazines. That's the only way I knew that the replicas existed at this point. So yeah, like Ringside Collectibles or whoever sending a replica to Germany must have cost so much. Vince Russo not on the show. He was just fired a few weeks before this. With Sting and a Sting mask. Hello, Priest Lover 69. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Damian Priest. Eric Priest. Adam Priest. I am not a wrestler. Thank God I'm not a wrestler. Imagine seeing this all oiled up and shirtless out there. But here comes Hacksaw Jim Duggan, someone we do love to see oiled up and shirtless. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, baby. Hey, Ben J. Russ, thank you for the follow. I'm blowing up right now. It is predetermined, Ben J. Russ. Thank you very much. Hey, Brian. Sorry, I saw the Instagram story. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, get some rest. Get some rest, bud. Hello, Joanna Watches. Welcome to the chat. But yeah, Brian, I'm sorry you're getting hit with the COVID yet again. Just take care of yourself, bud. All right, love you. Do the whole thing with "Ho, USA, USA," even though I'm not super proud of our government. I wish New Jack was on this show. That would have been dope. Ooh, we have a COVID denier in the chat. Oh gosh.
Moment, Entschuldigung, pardon. Das muss natürlich hier seine Ordnung haben. Jetzt bin ich ja nur gespannt, ob es bei seinem Gegner ähnlich turbulent zur Sache geht. Denn, ja, natürlich, das 2x4 hat er auch durch den Gang durchgebracht. Ah ja, kleine Scherzchen.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out with the,
Von Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
So, und genau das meine ich. Er sorgt für Stimmung.
There we go. COVID denier gone.
Und hier kommt der Gegner.
Austin Aries is not on this show.
Und einstmals war er auch Bodyguard von Berlin. Here's the wall.
Yes, unfortunately, Jonathan. Curryman also not on the show. I'm playing along with you, Waza. Alright, yeah, Joanna, this show was in Germany. Yeah, this show was in Germany. Oberhausen, Germany. On cable in Germany. Never aired in America. This was a paid-for event by the cable company over there. So in WCW lore, I was distracted by the goofballs. The Wall is German. And yet the guy, his opponent, who's out here chanting USA, USA, is the good guy. In the hometown hero, the Wall is the baddie.
Und jetzt lässt sich The Wall auch nochmal feiern, oder zumindest versucht das. Ja, der macht sich hier gleich wahnsinnig lieb. Das Match.
I saw that, Xander Victus, that Defy did Christopher Daniels versus Curryman. That was, I haven't seen it yet, but that was dope. I love that. Did they bring, I don't think anybody came out to the NWO song on this tour, because there's the NWO 2000. But it's like Jeff Jarrett and the Harris Brothers. USA. Yeah, poor Wall, by the way. Dude's already sweating up a storm just because he's a big guy. He's a big guy. I'm a big guy. I sweat a lot. And then they make him work in a dress shirt tucked into slacks. This guy's gonna be soaked by the time he gets to the locker room. Yeah, this is even weirder than WWE in Canada. This is a crowd that's way behind on the TV. They're just there to love wrestling. And they get weird stuff like this. The NWO 2000 in silver was ridiculous, Joanna. Like, watch, they just were a stable. Just a stable of top guys. And the silver logo looked so bad. It looked so cheap. USSR, baby. That's great. I went to a WCW house show the year before that, and Jim Duggan wasn't on the show, unfortunately. I had to settle for Dean Malenko against Eddie Guerrero. Poor me. Suit Riots. Four. That's not how countouts work, buddy. You gotta slow down. Poor guy. The Wall had just been wrestling, I think, for a year maybe at this point. They signed him straight out of the Monster Factory. Duggan and Barbarian. I'm sure Jim Duggan versus Barbarian in a house show match in 1998, they did nothing. And the crowd loved it. Well, that's dope you got Goldberg and Kevin Nash. Again, I'm sure Kevin Nash didn't do anything, but it's fun. It's a good match for a house show. The Wall was in the Misfits. He was General AWOL. He replaced Van Hammer, who was supposed to be Private Stash, but that was too low of a rank for him. So he threw a baby fit, and he became Major Stash. Hey, Optimum Vision. No, we started a half hour early because this is a long show. So you only missed one match, and it was long and boring as shit. AWOL was Sergeant AWOL, yes. The Monster Factory was Larry Sharp's school in New Jersey. He produced Bam Bam Bigelow was his most famous student. But the Giant, despite the fact the Giant denies that he ever trained there, he trained there after Hulk Hogan was like, dude, you should be a wrestler. He did like a celebrity basketball game with him. Hey, Peter. Yep, it's 8:30 start time tonight because we have a long show. Hey, B. Pinno. You'd have not missed an Armstrong. I don't think there is an Armstrong. First time in months we have not had an Armstrong on this show. Also, Jim Duggan's one of those dudes that like just kills the illusion of big guys on your roster. Because he's gigantic, but he's like not like a giant. Like he never pushes, he's like a regular sized guy, quote unquote, just very strong. And then you put him with like the Wall, and they're like the same size, even though the Wall's supposed to be a giant. By the way, no, in Germany, they hadn't aired the deal where Russo put Duggan in the janitor costume, so he had to wrestle in his tights. Duggan's a big ass dude. Jim Duggan's WWE run in the mid-2000s is so weird. Like, I think he teamed with Super Crazy for a while. And it was just old Jim Duggan in his gym shorts. Like, I'm pretty sure Colt Cabana had a match with Jim Duggan on Sunday Night Heat in like 2006. Yeah, that's such a weird match, fanzine. Jim Duggan and Super Crazy against the Highlanders. That is so weird.
Ja gut, aber so kräftige Männer setzen diese Aktion immer wieder gerne mal an.
Und the Wall zieht nach und jetzt.
Jim Duggan selling a bear hug. Look at the sleeper hold. That's right, Eugene did turn heel on Jim Duggan. Seriously, the Jim Duggan run in that area is so bizarre. Yeah, no, Jim Duggan had the whole place chanting in USA earlier. It was great. Oh, the Wall. The Wall came down in Oberhausen. Oh. He's doing his county fair indie match in front of a sold-out sports arena in Oberhausen, Germany. Yeah, I don't think he had a tag title run. I remember he had like a Survivor Series match, I think with like Flair and Piper. I think he was in that weird match, maybe him and like Sarge and Dusty. I think that was the team. And like Flair and Piper won the tag belts in like 2005, which that's weird too. It was Flair, Sarge, Dusty, and Ron Simmons. I mean, good for Ron. Good for Ron. Referee's just letting dudes swing boards. Good on the ref for getting the board out of the ring. Jim Duggan gets the win. Yeah, two 10 punches in the corners, some bear hugging, simple finish. What a basic match. And again, the Wall's being pushed on TV as a guy who's killing everybody at this point. Like, even as far back as their TV went, the Wall was still being pushed as like a killer. He was destroying the Misfits and Steve Williams, I believe. Oh, Duggan has one of those big rubber guys. That's cool. One of those Brosky and Hawkins figures.
möglich. Und jetzt pass mal auf, ganz leise sein. Nichts Neues entsteht.
Seriously, the Wall's suit budget, because there's no way those slacks survived more than 1 or 2 matches before getting ripped. No way.
Ja, und das ist einfach fantastisch. Zur allgemeinen Überraschung.
That's ridiculous. I get that they're like specialty collector deals. Okay, so this is, I believe, is Tom Gerhardt is his name. He is a comedian over in Germany. He had been doing commentary on like Nitros and Thunders, saying that wrestling was fake, kind of like those jokers that were in here a little bit ago. And then Berlin challenged him to a match. Vampiro clearly
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Mir geht's auch gut, also ihm geht's fantastisch. Vampiro, du spielst bei den Misfits den Bass. Wo sind die Jungs? Vampiro, you're playing the bass. And the Misfits, where are the guys?
Mike Ritter on the internet. Shout out to Mike Ritter.
Sind die auf Tour?
Yeah, they just came back from Japan.
Even Mike Ritter had a producer back then. I'm doing this whole thing on my own.
Sein Gegner heute David Flair. Was denkst du über das Match?
I've got a long history.
NASA official,
I know his father's a legend, but,
welcome.
I'm gonna be
Thank you so much for bringing the soda and the crackers. Appreciate it. Relax, sit back. Welcome to the chat, the Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club. Enjoy. We're getting another Nitro Girl dance. Yes, Vampiro. Spent a little time in Der Beer Garden. Another Nitro Girl dance. They flew these 3 women over, and they're gonna get their money's worth. Hey, 69 Anon. Yeah, I imagine the wrestlers when they went on these German tours. Oh, here's David Flair. Hello, Scotland Green, aka Mr. Green Mist. Welcome to the chat, buddy. Again, I mentioned it up front. As soon as we are done tonight, we're going to do a raid on Scotland's channel, because Scotland, as soon as when we're done here, he's doing his special annual Mardi Gras Pro Wrestling Potluck. Mr. Green Mist, go ahead and get your follow in now, and then we'll raid a little bit after 11 o'clock tonight. Be a blast. Yes, Stacy is Miss Hancock already. But again, the TV's behind over in Germany, and it's just a mess. They're like, we flew her over, we gotta have her do something. There's Daphne. David doing the Tony Atlas spot. All right, we're just gonna go for it. And the Nitro Girls was it was very over when it first started, and then it just kept going. This version of David Flair is the best run of David Flair, because the gimmick made his bad wrestling make sense. And he was having fun, unlike in the earlier run, or some of the stuff when he was in developmental later. He was just David Flair. He just seemed nervous and I don't want to mess up. Whereas crazy David Flair is having a blast. The Chosen One. Oh hey, look, it's the Harris brothers in Germany. Wonder what they got up to. Oh yeah, we're just gonna get a promo in the middle of this actual freaking pay-per-view in Germany. Again, on TV in America at this point, Double J and the Harrises were the NWO, whereas TV in Germany at this point, it was Nash, Bret, Steiner, Jarrett. The Harrises are the worst. The U.S. title belt is one of the best belts. This U.S. title belt, one of the best designed belts. I agree with you, Optimum. Slapnuts translates in German. Look at that.
Ich will das mal ganz kurz halten.
Kevin Nash is no longer the commissioner. I am the commissioner.
Big Sexy.
Yeah, he's having to explain the television, what they haven't seen yet, to them.
Since I am acting commissioner, there wasn't supposed to be a title shot until Super Brawl.
Es sollte also
He wasn't supposed to put his title on the line
noch
until February 20th.
einen Title Shot geben.
Title shot.
Vor Super Bowl, den soll es heute Abend geben.
The early 90s TV belt is fantastic as well.
And forcing Sid Vicious to put his belt on the line.
Ich werde
You know what wrestling fans love? Bureaucracy.
It's going to be a title match.
Ich werde ihn dazu zwingen, heute Abend
Like, other than the Attitude Era WWF run, did like heel commissioners, GMs, etc. Is that ever really like over? Like Bischoff was a good TV character. Was people really care about like who ran the show?
und wir werden einen Doppelpack machen heute Abend.
PPV and Big Ron are going to be the new tag team champions after this match is
Die
over.
Harris Boys Brothers werden die neuen Tag Team Champions werden.
Also ein Doppelpack der New World Order soll heute starten.
Yeah, heel authority figures. Give me a Jack Tunney. Give me Stanley Blackburn. Just a dude that shows up to make decisions and then goes home.
Chef Jarrett gegen
Jeff Jarrett.
Sid Vicious, den amtierenden Weltmeister. Und dann geht es aus dem
There it is something how close Jimmy Hart could get to the real song
momentan amtierenden Champs.
and not get sick.
Aber das ist ein Riesending. Also heute hier noch live aus Oberhausen. Jeff Jarrett, the Chosen.
Yeah, Dario Cueto as a character made sense.
Woohoo! It's wrestling time.
Because he fucked everybody over because he just wanted to make money on the show.
Es war überhaupt auch nicht mehr die Rede von
Well.
Vertretungskommissioner oder sowas.
Ja, er ist der neue Commissioner. So, und jetzt hier.
It's the Mama Lukes who were also heels.
Harris Brüder.
So, fun story about this match.
Mamelukes, hier sind die amtierenden World Tag Team Champions.
So this tour went through like England, some other parts of Europe over like a 2-week period. And there were shows on this tour where the main event was the Mamelukes against the Harris brothers. Battle of the oh goodness. But yeah, no, I think there's at least 2 shows in England where they put the Mamelukes and the Harris brothers on last. Shout out to the fan in the front row waving the US flag in Germany.
Bekannt geworden durch die Fehde mit Disco Inferno. Und am Anfang
Get it, he's Italian.
das war Hampelmänner. Es sind 2 Vollstrecker. Aber
Did they win? Yeah, I think they did. Like there was one, I think it was the one of these shows where they ended the match with a Buff Bagwell running. And then Buff grabbed the mic and he's like, hey, you didn't get Goldberg, you didn't get DDP, but you got Buff. And the crowd threw stuff at him.
beide auch über 2 Meter groß.
It was meant to be like a big babyface pop.
Einfach, denn zu unterscheiden sind sie ja eigentlich praktisch nur an den Tätowierungen und zwar dummerweise am linken Oberarm. Ja, Italien ist weit, verstehst du. Hat er heute schon gehabt.
Oh, Tony. I love Tony Schiavone.
Ja, es fordert Zahlen.
I don't remember that, but I can totally hear that in his voice. You could tell the Harrises apart by their tattoos. That's
Immer
great.
besser.
Nick Patrick holding up the belts like he's a child in like the Toys R Us toy aisle, like holding up the replicas. Dad, can I get these? Johnny the Bull had so much potential. So much. Dude was a beast. And he was so agile. Just a shame that he broke his damn pelvis. Yes, the Mamalukes were the tag champs. They had defeated David Flair and Crowbar for them. Yes, this was the tag division. It was the Harris brothers, the Mamalukes, David Flair and Crowbar. Shut up! Johnny the Bull, after he went, of course, he went to WWE, had the FBI run there, and then he, I believe, went to All Japan to be like the new Great Muta, and then he went to TNA and used like the fancy Great Muta like mask makeup thing. Then he was Relic, which is killer spelled backwards. Having like barbed wire Christmas tree matches. Yeah, dude, that Johnny the Bull jump to the top rope? That's crazy. Yeah, he was the new Great Muta. He was like, I forget if they called him like American Muta or, but like, yeah, he was the new Great Muta. Yeah, Relic. Oh, gee, that was a great kick. Relic came either during or after the Muta run, but it was the same costume. It was the same makeup, same mask. It's just they couldn't legally call him Great Muta. Him in a Black Rain, which was such a bad run that Dustin Rhodes will block you on Twitter if you bring it up. Grabs him by the teeth? That would be a unique submission hold, grabbing him by the teeth. Yep, the Voodoo Murderers in All Japan. Wasn't the group that was like all the ex-WWF guys? Or was that Road? Yeah, he was like Muta 2. Like Great Muta 2 or American Muta. I forget what the exact term was. But yeah. Yeah, Dustin was. Like, if you read his book, he was down during that TNA run. Yeah, Rene Dupree was in that group. Did he just straight up say Wiener Schnitzel? Like, I'm trying not to make German jokes. And then the frickin' commentator brings up Wiener Schnitzel. Okay, so he was Great Muta, but in all caps, that means you're a heel. When it's on all caps, I learned that. Yeah, Rene Dupree has wrestled everywhere. Everywhere. Pretty sure Rene Dupree had a run like on My Kids' Trampoline as champion. Back suplex. The T. Harris brothers. That'd be a great gimmick for like a lucha team. The T. Harris brothers. So we have the two real Nazis wrestling Skull Von Crush, the fake Nazi, in Germany. Noli would not put his ass over. That's right. Noli puts nobody over. You have to beat him in a real fight on that trampoline. That's right, Jonathan. Double action. Yowzers. Big Vito is active on TikTok. I'm not surprised. He seems like one of those old guys that embraces technology, but it's like weird. It's not like how everybody else does. Like he'll post like weird cranny videos that aren't like long. Oh gosh, the Taiji Ishimori thing. Oh, that was rough. Like I get that in Japan they teach history a little differently than we do here. But that's still kind of fucked up.
Aber von den Harris Boys, den Brothers gab's bis jetzt eigentlich zu wenig zu sehen, muss man.
That's great. Duke Drosy on TikTok. That's a shame he doesn't do it anymore. I would have followed. Bill DeMont follows me on TikTok. And he likes my videos. So good. I'm glad Taji was... I'm glad they cut it out. They realized, hey, that's kind of offensive. Good on New Japan. Ryback on social media is just sad. Like doing mukbangs and all sorts of sad things in his car.
Ja, ist nicht so wahnsinnig empfangen worden hier, Big Vito, aber hat sich viel Respekt verschafft.
This is how you know that Germany has corrected course. They are not cheering for the Harris brothers. That right back pole. He just kept putting retire as one of the choices. Of course people are going to pick it. Yeah, Duke Drosy had a run a couple years ago where he was working a bunch of indies.
In die Knie zu kriegen, aber der verwehrt sich sehr gut mit den Elbows. Gewaltiger!
Look at that, Johnny the Bull.
Von Johnny the Bull und jetzt müsste er wechseln, aber ja, da ist einer im Weg.
We call him Mr. Vincel Armor.
Schön gemacht. Aushieber! Spinebuster! Jawohl!
That's right, I forgot Duke Drosy did have a foot removed. That's sad. Poor guy.
Ist er ein bisschen empfindlich geworden, wenn der Referee sagt, irgendwie mach das nicht, dann sagt er, du mach das nicht. Dir auch mal los? Nichts, alte sizilianische Gemeinsamkeiten. Ja, hier. Ein Double Reverse Shinlock. Und wenn dann Harris seine Double Reverse Shinlock ansetzt, dann schmerzt das gewaltig. Die Jungs haben riesige Über- und Unterarme. Oh je, und der wird schwächer und schwächer. Nichts mehr passt da.
And what's with everybody on the show wrestling in dress slacks? Hey, Brenticus, welcome. Thank you much, bud. Love you being here.
Nein, das schafft er nicht, ja. Ich weiß es nicht. Ja, also der NWO ist momentan alles zuzutrauen. Ja. Deswegen bin ich auch schon wahnsinnig gespannt auf den Main Event. Auf Jeff Jarrett, den Chosen One und natürlich auf Sid Vicious. Zwei Ausnahmeathleten hier in
Oh, okay. That could have been real bad. He didn't quite get him up enough.
Und jetzt der Wechsel in das Tag bei den Harris Brothers. Und jetzt ist die Vorarbeit getan.
Thank you, Joanna. I'm glad we have you here. You've been great in the chat. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your getting involved. This is great. Thank you, Joanna. Oh, what a... I'm gonna punch it with both fists. Twice as hard.
Los geht's, Gürtel einfahren. Aber es ist natürlich auch alles immer leichter gesagt als getan. Auch die Jungs können mal kleine Verschnaufen.
Yeah, the Harris boys are rough.
Ja, aber jetzt schlecht natürlich. Ist natürlich auch nicht nur vom Vorteil.
I appreciate you being here, Joe. We have fun on Tuesday nights, except when we watch the Harris Brothers.
Big Vito mit einer blitzschnellen Aktion. Nick Patrick hat's gesehen und er sagt ganz klar, Pfote bitte schön an deiner Ringecke. Nochmal das Cover von den Harris Brothers.
The Harris Brothers wore shirts pretty regularly. They would wear tank tops sometimes. But this NWO run, they wore the NWO t-shirts. Yeah, I think it's partially because the reason why they got so much work is like, oh, these guys are huge and they're twins. We gotta be able to get something out of them. And also they were really good at making friends with the right people. Bobby Walker was at least like funny and would try stuff. Or the Harris brothers because they're so big. They just didn't do a whole lot. Like, they weren't very expressive guys. I think kind of hurts at things. Just the bald guys that look alike. Oh, jeez. Hey, Nicholas Infantante. Welcome. Hello. Right at this point, it's Ed Ferrara and Kevin Sullivan running the show. Russo had brought them back in, I think, December as creative control, and there is the awfully named H-Bomb, which Ilya Dragunov is now doing a version of. Not that move, but he's calling the move the H-Bomb, which is... Ooh. I mean, I get the historical significance, but... The T. Harris brothers. Seriously. Yeah, this is... WCW would be dead a year and a month later after this. It is sad hearing the Harris brothers get the classic NWO music. But hey, they did send over the right song. I saw that in the chat earlier. They did finally send the right NWO song over for a German show. Yeah, Chase Owens. I don't get that one, man. I mean, allegedly he's the lowest paid guy in all of New Japan, and he lives in the country now, so I mean, whatever. Yeah, when like Vincent's coming out to the main NWO song, yeah, it kills it. I didn't see what his arm did. I was looking at the chat. Long John Harris? That'd be a way cooler name than Don. Oh gosh, they almost didn't get him up. And there's two of you, and you're twice his size. Yeah, New Japan doesn't... They seem to look the other way on problematic folks, unfortunately. He's just not interesting. Like, he doesn't wrestle up to, like, the New Japan Gaijin level. And again, he does have accusations against him. You can Google those. But yeah, he's very mid. I just saw Bam Dog say, very mid. Oh, hey, it's Tom Gerhardt again.
Hey, what do you want, huh? Ich will, dass ihr noch mal eine Chance kriegt. Don't you noch mal eine Chance kriegen?
Yeah, like I brought up earlier, this guy was doing WCW commentary at the time, would be like, oh, it's fake. And there was, I think it was Starrcade this year, there that a couple months before, where Chris Benoit had like an open challenge. And this dude was in the building at like one of the WCW like press areas and was like, I'll wrestle you. Yeah, Chase Owens tag champ with Kenta. That's sad. Yeah, Tom Gerhardt, he's kind of like... I asked somebody I know who like is more up on like German culture or German pop culture than I am. They described him as kind of like a Gallagher type or like Carrot Top, kind of the German equivalent. Like his big thing is he would wear like a giant inflatable penis on stage and like ejaculate on the audience. That's who WCW is bringing in as their big guest star. There's like, that desk is giving me anxiety.
Aber bis jetzt, also bis jetzt ist es richtig stark und dann natürlich die Ankündigung von Jeff Jarrett.
I didn't even realize that was a title change. That's how little attention I was paying. That was a title change. That's right, Fanzine. I forgot the Mamalukes walked out with the belts. Yeah. But yeah, no, I do remember now. The Harrises lost the belts like the next night.
Wir gehen über zu David Flair und erst wird's mal ein bisschen finster mit Vampiro.
This is the most excited I've ever seen anybody for a David Flair match. Dun, dun. Yeah, the Mamalukes won it back the next white night. Thank you, Optimum Vision. And the announce table looks like a smash. It looks like like a 2000s like LAN tournament where everyone like brings their laptops and like hooks them up to each other, brings their towers. Hey Adam, I'm glad you're excited for a David Flair match. Ooh, we got some interesting factoids about the NWO song. Released by Frank Shelley, no relation to Alex, in 1990. Yeah, that song was like in the public domain forever. It was a legit porno song. Scott Hall, there was a story Scott Hall, like right after they got the song, Scott Hall's watching porn in his hotel room. And he watches a movie where they have sex to the NWO song. Yeah, I love how Vampiro spends all that money on that cool vest and then he wears like a t-shirt underneath it. Like just another guy. And Daphne was the best. Like, David did his part, but she's really the personality behind this pair. And later, I did that YouTube short the other day about Ozzy, the Crowbar lookalike, with Ashley Hudson in Nashville. And, like, I watched a bunch of, like, Crowbar and Daphne stuff to find clips for it. And, man, she was so good as a personality. He was Scott Hallworth's jerking the curtain. Well, very much so. Hey, who wants this Misfit shirt I got for free? That's not a Misfit. It's a Vampiro shirt. WCW produced that? It looks like way too good. Whereas David Flair's just wearing the crew shirt that one of the house show guys gave him, or one of the ring crew guys gave him. So you got David Flair, who very minimal training, and you have Vampiro, who, by his own admission, was never taught properly how to take a bump. Like he said his training was just rolls. Because he broke in doing lucha, but like whoever trained him was like, you'll never even know how to do a back bump. So like if you watch him wrestle, every time he took a back bump, it looked weird. Oh yeah, David Flair, a man after my own heart, wore the free shirts they gave out. Oh, I'm another one. I will any free shirt, except for the ones the Harris brothers were probably handing out in the locker room. Or Midnight Fowler with more NWO song factoids. It was a sample of a riff from an obscure Jimi Hendrix song. That makes sense as well. Yeah. David Flair has that lost and found outfit. Welcome, Coupon. I'd wear a Scientology shirt to bed. I would not wear it in public. But I have to be careful about disposing of it because I heard they like stalk you and like find out all of your worst secrets. And I don't want them finding out about like me pooping a lot. Look at that, David Flair, Crowbar doing some like quasi lucha. Why did it? Okay, so that ended well, That was a cool spinning leg kick, or spinning wheel kick. But I love the fact they do the decent lucha spot, and then oh jeez, David didn't catch him. And then David just starts doing his taunt, like he's like you're playing like a little kid in a video game, and neither of you know what the controls are. One guy goes up top, the other one's doing his taunt. See, that's a good strategy. For, like use the crappy shirts as like your work shirt.
Solltest du lieber mal abhauen? Ja, das ist, glaube ich, schon ziemlich nervig.
Das ist sogar wahnsinnig nervig. Ausheber von Vampiro, gewaltiger Bodyslam.
God, David Flair seems so scared. Vampiro's so mad at the camera. Like, rolls his eyes at the guy. That was great. What was that, David? Barely even like touches the ropes. Very light worker that David Flair was.
Will alles geben für sein Match hier in Oberhausen und natürlich auch für das Match, das er in Leipzig haben wird.
Oh God, somebody's gonna like break their leg. Oh, David almost did.
Also auch David Flair kann Aktionen zeigen in diesem Match. Flair mit dem Cover. Nee.
Yeah, that is weird there's not a German word for body slam, but I guess it's like in Japan they call body slams too, I believe. Suplexes. Look at, is David calling the match? David Flair, I just saw his lips move and I think he's calling the match. That is risky on Vampiro's part.
Von David Flair, auch die nicht von schlechten Eltern, ja, ich meine, der Papa kannte nun wirklich.
Like the blind leading the headless.
Die Konsequenz, das ist natürlich immer die Frage bei David Flair, ob er da nicht doch wieder mal kurzzeitig die Sicherung fliegt. Daphne wird das ihre dazu tun, ja, das clever gemacht, einfacher Beinflieger.
Und sie kommt wieder in unsere Nähe, das finde ich irgendwie
die Sirene.
Ja, nicht beängstigend eigentlich, aber doch.
Oh.
Side Suplex von Vampiro.
Cover.
Yeah, this is the best match so far. It's weird because this is like almost a quasi backyard match. I don't think we're getting David Flair wrestling ever again. Last time I saw him, he's a big old beardy boy, and he is I believe he's a state cop in North Carolina.
Mark Johnson, dem bleibt gar nichts anderes übrig, als zu sagen, okay, lass ich einfach weiterlaufen. Also lässt sich jetzt nicht mehr rekonstruieren. Whip-in. Ja, das zu offensichtlich.
And David's dressed like a backyarder. David wrestles like a backyarder. He's kind of a backyarder. He wasn't trained. I mean, he was trained, but it was like very basic. Okay, fall down. There's a headlock. Now you're semi-main eventing a pay-per-view. David Flair would be a cop. I figured the Flair needs somebody on the other side too. David should have been trained by Stan Lane. Thank you, Assured Outcomes. Yeah, that would have been great. Oh my God!
Und da hagelt's. In Choptown, ganz eindeutig, Ausheber.
Imagine David Flair after WCW just being like, I'm gonna be a deathmatch guy now. Oh, jeez! David wasn't supposed to move. Vampiro's pissed. That was awesome. Like, I could say that's awesome because, like, we've moved on. This is 24 years later. Back then, I would have been scared somebody died. Oh, jeez. I should learn German and just do some of the other regular streams in German. Yeah, Vampiro is like done with this match. Look at his face. He's like, shit, how much longer we gotta go? And again, Vampiro's not any good either. God.
Und das Match dauert schon sehr lange. Das geht jetzt also richtig an die Konditionen. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Oh jeez. Pit Pinzer. Vampiro was over in Mexico. I'm not saying he wasn't over. I'm just saying you watch him wrestle. Vampiro was over because of the look. He had charisma. That's why he was over. You can be over and not be good. Hey, referee Vinny Lex. Yeah, this... Somebody's screwing him with Vampiro. Yeah, go do a good 10 to 12 with David Flair, buddy. Our NWO B-Team theme was originally released on an album PHCD 002 Rock the House. In 92 by James Swift. Thank you, Nicholas, for looking up all this. Oh, what was that? That was a double fall off the ropes? Supposed to be maybe a choke slam? Like what? Oh, God. David Flair just dropped a man on his own balls. What a move. What do you want to do for a falsie? Yeah, what if I, like, just nut myself with you? Hey, Jake Bars. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you bringing the flat soda and crackers. And Daphne, as much as I love her, again, she's not... They didn't really do a whole lot of training with her. She shouldn't have been doing in-ring spots at this point. There we go. Vampiro wins. This crowd. This is a great crowd. Because they just saw that match. And they went nuts for the finish. Whoa. Imagine being these WCW guys who are used to these like American crowds that hate the shows. And then they go over to Germany. And they have a quasi-backyard wrestling match. And the crowd goes nuts for the finish. WXW. I don't know if WXW in Germany was going at that time. That's a good question. If they weren't going now, they were starting not too long after this. Yeah, that's the thing. Fanzine brings up a good point. Whenever business was bad in America, the American companies could go over to Europe and pack houses. For whatever reason, I don't know, they were just a few years behind the culture, like WWF in the mid-90s. The only place they could pack buildings was in Europe. Hey, Jake. Yeah. That was Vampiro. But yeah, I'm glad to have you here. Welcome. Sit back. Oh my gosh. Daphne almost, like, got whiplash 3 different times there. Yeah, Daphne's the best. Just, yeah, they should have not let her do in-ring stuff until she got a bit more training. That's the story of that match, though. It's rushing everybody out. David Penza.
At this time, I would like to introduce to you one of the biggest international superstars in
Big Daddy.
wrestling history. He is a 7-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Jamie Dundee.
And is known worldwide as the best there is.
Okay, it's Bret. So Bret was a huge draw in Germany. Huge draw. So even when he got hurt, they were like, hey, Bret, could you just come make the dates? Which is a great thing to say to somebody dealing with, like, concussions to go fly in a plane for hours on end. But, But yeah, they flew him over, even though he wasn't able to work, to do like speeches every night. God, Jimmy Hart did Bret Hart so dirty with his music in WCW. Like, Jimmy could have done something better than this. Yeah, it makes sense. By the way, welcome to the chat. I believe, is it Richards? Is how you pronounce that without the vowels? If I mispronounce that, I apologize. Let me know how to. But yeah, if you get 1 or 2 events a year, it's gonna be big. Okay, awesome. Cool, Richards. Cool. That's high. But yeah, it's, you only go over twice a year. Yeah, the crowds are gonna be great, but especially here, like, I think WWE in like the mid-90s were going over like 3-4 times a year because the market was that good. Yeah, there's a reason why this song kind of just came in at the end of his run, because it sucks.
I'll try to speak real slow. I don't think I have much choice.
Bret with a little concussion humor there.
First off, I just want to apologize for not being able to wrestle here. Unfortunately,
I absolutely believe that, fanzine, about Jimmy Hart just sitting in the studio making songs all day. Because when I don't know if anybody knows, on Spotify there's an album called like The Music of WCW, and it's all Jimmy Hart songs. And like half of them weren't songs that anybody used. Or they maybe used them once. It's just all these songs that WWE bought the rights to in like the same catalog. So they're like, oh, they must be WCW songs. Impact did really well in England in like 2011. Like when things were like pretty bad for them in like the early 2010s, they could go over to England and fill an arena. Part of that's also because Jeremy Borash actually learned, like immersed himself in British culture, and so it didn't just feel like an American company coming over there and not knowing what's going on. Like they would have guys cut promos, like reference like the local celebrities, and like Borash was really good about that. Dude, India was a great market for TNA. Like Sanjay Dutt, like I've heard he still goes over there, like doing AEW stuff sometimes, and gets mobbed. Yeah, wasn't the deal with TNA in the UK that like they were on free TV, but WWE was on like pay cable? I think that's what I heard. Again, I'm a dumb dummy, so maybe I'm wrong, but. This is a very sweet speech, by the way. Bret was good for these. Yeah, Jeremy Borash rules. I like Jeremy Borash a lot.
But also, my brother Owen loved coming over here. And German wrestling fans, you're the greatest.
Immer etwas ganz Besonderes, wieder in Deutschland zu sein. Owen, hat das auch geliebt. War sehr gerne in Deutschland und sagt hier etwas wirklich Tolles. Die deutschen Wrestling-Fans, sie sind für ihn die Größten.
WCW then was both on cable and free TV. Which shows were on which? Was like Nitro on pay TV and like Worldwide on free TV like it was over here? Or was it like Nitro was on both? I mean, it makes sense because in WCW in like 2000 was drawing well over there. Okay, they had Nitro on cable. Okay, makes sense. I know like Worldwide had those like had that deal where like anytime somebody got hit in the head, it was like Batman, pow, like over it. So I assume like it's on free TV, but it's like a little stricter. WCW moved around a lot. WWE was always on satellite. Again, makes sense. I always heard WWE TV numbers are like way worse than what you would think. Yeah, this is a big building. They sold it out here. There was that November 2000 show we watched a few months ago where they packed it then. That's November 2000 WCW. I love the mic flag, by the way. The round mic flag. Normally they're like very square with like edges.
I will see you again. Thank you very much. God bless each and every one.
That was very nice, Bret. A very nice speech.
Ein emotionales Interview hier von Bret Hart. Ich weiß, viele Zuschauer zu Hause am Bildschirm werden natürlich ein bisschen enttäuscht sein. Wir alle hätten ihn gerne aktiv im Ring gesehen, dass er wrestelt, aber es geht halt.
Bret rules. When you really think about it, Bret Hart was right. He's the reason for that cliche. Bret Hart's ended up right about a lot more things. Class act, all the way. Honest to a fault? Like, just read his book and find out? Pick up that flag off the ground. You're dressed up like Bret Hart. I love his commitment to the Goldberg bit. I love it. It's one of the funniest things. He'll spit out some true facts about a real serious thing, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, by the way, fuck Goldberg. Yeah, that WWE run in the 2010s. There are like some leaked house show footage of like him against the Nexus, and like him and Heath Slater are going at it. It's like, fuck. I'm sure Bret loved Doug Dillinger falling on him to the back after all he said about him in that book. He just left the smoke machine going the whole show. Looks like there's just a little simmering fire on the stage. Here we go, Norman Smiley. Smiley Wiggle! Heath Slater is so much better than people realize. Like, not necessarily, he's not gonna go out there and do the Kenny Omega 5-star match, but if you need someone to like just work with someone real terrible and get something good out of them, Norman Smiley take his top off, you're gonna send Heath Slater out there to work with them. Yeah, Bret had a problem with being a heel. But it seemed like WCW is like, oh, wouldn't it be such a swerve, bro, if you were a heel after all that said in WWF? Like, he was a heel like 5 months after he came in. They put him, they turned him, and they had him lay out Randy Savage to screw him out of the world title. And I hope Norman kept all those jerseys. And he just has a closet at his house in Florida. All these like local sports team jerseys from like 2000. The last German show we watched, that entrance he had. Go back and, it's not on YouTube anymore. Yeah. Because WWE claimed they owned it, even though they definitely don't own these shows. I found that out. I asked somebody in WWE, these do not exist in their library. It's owned by the German cable company. And the German cable company let my appeal go. And then WWE took the show down. What music is this?
Das gibt sich allzu oft und der Gegner, der kann auch kräftig zulangen. Hier ist Dustin Runnels.
Dustin Runnels? Look at Shoot Names McGee over here. Yeah, he's Dustin Rhodes, wearing his wacky button-up shirts. The commentary's calling him Dustin Runnels, as they read the internet. Yes, Norman Smiley did work Starrcade 90 with Chris Adams against Conan and Rey Mysterio Sr. Real weird match. Shoot named Jones over here. Shout out to Taz, like he needs it from me. Yeah, he was the American Nightmare here. Oh, and hey, she's double shotting as Miss Hancock also. Ooh la la. You know, I could have put up with some of the pervert wrestling commentary around this time if instead of just screaming and yelling about boobs, they just went ooh la la every time a lady come out. That would be great. Big fan of ooh la la. Is this the 7 music? Dude, Dustin Rhodes, when he's good, there are very few that are better. Very few, even early Dustin. Yes, she is Superman and Clark Kent, yes. It's crazy that she got to be 2 different personalities. I've heard Stacy's very nice. Yeah, the 7 entrance music they only played once ever because he quit the gimmick on TV to do the Russo thing. But I'm pretty sure that was it. There were like 3 kids chanting Smiley, Smiley. There we go. That entrance was cool. It's just, what do you do with it? So I think they kind of booked themselves into a corner, and Dustin... Again, the way they got out of it sucked, but they had to get out of it, unfortunately. Look at them doing the Norman Smiley, even in their thick German accents. I love it. Dustin is in full house show mode. These German shows are funny because it's like half the guys don't realize, oh, why are these cameras here? Oh, apparently they're taping the show for TV, and they're just doing house show matches. They don't care. Like the Booker T match, the Jim Duggan match, now Dustin's doing like the walk to the back, and you people don't shut up, I'm leaving. Yeah, very Larry Zbyszko, Dustin here. I spoke about the wall being sweaty when he wrestled earlier. It must have been so sweaty wrestling in those pads and the jersey. Also very funny, Norman's like trying to like wrestle. And he has this great form, but he's wearing a full sports uniform. Oh. Okay, he's trying to do the big wiggle. There we go. There we go. Doing it again. If you people don't shut up, I'm going home. Got a helicopter on the roof.
Oh, Norman. Total locker.
There is so much of nothing happening right now.
Bewerkstelligt, dass Dustin Runnels jetzt wieder zurück ist im Ring. Nochmal der Lock-up.
And there he goes. And Dustin must finish his story and win the WCW Hardcore title.
Wir sollten mal einen Messer mitnehmen.
Du meinst so den richtigen, das Phone-Meter sozusagen, oder
genau.
das,
Wer lauter ist,
das Screaming-Meter? Das gab's doch mal bei Monika Seles, das Gruntometer. Was? Ja?
Disgruntled meter? They should have had a disgruntled meter up in like 2000 WCW TV. Like every time somebody walked out, they would have a little meter that showed how much they wanted to leave the company. Disgruntled meter, I love it.
Und Rhodes setzt nach. Hier. Snapmare. Double reverse chin lock.
A double reverse chin lock?
Wow, der wird hier aber angefeuert.
It would just be full the whole time. When Conan comes out, it's like off the track.
Ja, lange Zeit haben wir uns da wirklich gedacht, was um Gottes Willen hat der Mann in der Hardcore-Division.
And I love the little kids.
Mittlerweile schon mehrfacher Champion. Slide down, jawohl.
Er hat sich wirklich mordsmäßig entwickelt. Warum man Smiley, wer hätte das jemals gedacht vorher? Er wird Hardcore-Champion. Coverversuch hier von Rhodes. Nach dieser harten Aktion.
Die Close-Line.
I noticed that. Yeah, Mickey J is like, hey guys, work over there.
Und der Texaner. Rhodes schickt seinen Gegner in die Ringseile. Sleeper Hold. Will hier Smiley mürbe machen.
Oh je. Und der wird mürbe wie Mürbteig.
Yeah, when you get the disgruntled meter, when they give you your release, it flashes special.
Ist praktisch aufs Eis gelegt.
Damn, Dustin.
Uh-oh.
I love how the building that's going crazy for David Flair and Crowbar. They've done so little that they're now nothing.
Ganz konsequent.
Oh, the consequence?
War natürlich auch ein sehr, sehr erfolgreicher.
Shut up. He's a heel, you see. Yeah, they went right back to forgetting where the hard cam is. Mickey J is like, screw it. I can't make you guys work that direction. Good night.
In Deutschland kennen wir das nur zugute Effe.
Ja, ganz eindeutig. Und Norman Smiley kommt wieder ins Match zurück. Mit Elbows. Abgetaucht und...
Oh, something happened there. Look at that, a move. And he kicks out of not even one.
Dustin Rhodes zieht hier wirklich alle Register seines Könnens. Gegen die Augen geht's.
This match feels like it's gone about 3 hours at this point.
Und jetzt eine ganze Reihe von Backpfeifen. Ja, die bringen im Normalfall immer wieder ein bisschen mehr.
Oh!
Ja, jetzt war das Eishockeypolster mit Sicherheit vonnöten. Dustin Rhodes jetzt nach nochmal der Headmill Takedown. Also ganz klassisch das, was wir hier zeigen.
Yeah, this match, I apologize, everybody. This is rough.
Zu locker angegangen, das Ganze.
Like, at least the Harrises were like taking bumps.
Nochmal der Sleeper Hold. Ja, aber jetzt kommt die Halle hier.
Yeah, they're like, we come over here twice a year. You people are going to watch. Oh, it's teenage girls in the front row cheering for Norman. Okay. But no, we're going to give you the least amount possible, and you're going to eat it up.
Dustin Rhodes leider im Moment ganz klar am Drücker. 2.
Ooh, a pin.
Beide Schultern sind
Yeah, Dustin's just not wanting to do anything.
Wie gesagt, bei 3 ist es dann
Won't even put his feet in the second rope.
Verstärkt den Druck, indem er seine Beine auf die Ringseile legt. Oder besser gesagt aufs unterste Ringseil.
Nicht ganz fair, nicht ganz fein, aber sehr wirkungsvoll.
Na gut, es muss ja nicht immer die feine englische Art sein.
I don't want to speculate if he's left up on drugs. I just think he's feeling lazy. There we go. At least he put your feet up on the second rope. And bless Norman's heart for selling it like it's something.
Bewegt sich nicht von Geistern. Mickey J macht das.
Ach, der Kameramann dann. Och, nö. Aber keine schlechte Antwort eigentlich. Sehr clever von Dustin Runnels. Und
you know, the great Jesus Smothers once said, they started slow and they tapered off.
auf die Nerven, Norman Smiley. Jetzt ist er wieder oben. 2. Und jetzt.
There we go. There's something. Something happened. The big wiggle. What the fuck? Sorry, that was great. Oh. It was Brian Knobs to class up the joint. Like, that scared the shit out of me. Like, I was genuinely getting tired. And then that happened. Brian Knobs jump scare. Oh my god. Yeah, WCW had everybody. They're trying to, like, choke him with the edge of the trash can. Terry Funk. Why not? Why not send Terry Funk out? Ooh. Like. Yeah, that was good on the floor cam guy. To have the sense to not turn around. That was good. That was good stuff. Terry Funk's coming out here to, like, do something. Just got a step ladder at ringside? Oh, jeez. By the way, shout out to my SSRI gang. Taking my meds for the night. Terry Funk is like, you guys didn't do shit. Let's give them their money's worth. Yeah, play a hardcore Teddy Long. Yeah, imagine Terry Funk walking into, like, Ace Hardware, grabbing stuff off the shelves. The trolley full of random items, like the laundry thing or the shopping cart, like New Jack. One of my favorite wrestling tropes, because nobody has ever explained how this wrestler just has this thing on wheels full of weapons. Hell yeah, Joanna. Well, Richard. I'm taking Mirtzapline. It calms me down at night so I can sleep. Hell yeah. No, really, that match really did the job for me. Terry Funk's like, if you guys won't wrestle, I will give myself a concussion. Hell yeah, Ultran. See, we're bonding over the medicine that keeps our chemicals in our brains sorted. I love this.
So, das werden wir mit Würde und Gelassenheit ertragen. Natürlich. Norman Smiley nach wie vor beschäftigt mit Dustin Runnels. So, und jetzt wird es natürlich ein bisschen chaotisch. Jetzt muss man hier den Überblick behalten.
Terry Funk is going to drag a good match out of these people if it's the last thing he does. Ooh. But even then, he's like, it's still a show that only Germans are seeing. We won't do anything. Oh yeah, congrats, Incident 73. I hope it helps as well. Best advice the doctor ever gave me was, something doesn't work, we can just change it up. Something will work eventually. So, but I do hope that helps you out. So, congrats, man. Congrats, my friend. And now Dustin's just doing Gold Dust stuff. Covered in powder. What is going on? They're gyrating at each other. We're grabbing nuts. Yeah, this is the exact opposite of that last thing. Yeah, it makes sense, like Joanna said. They did nothing because they knew they had to do this match. Oh yeah. Wellbutrin, Prozac. Love it all. Love it all. Again, the modern science, the things they've done to keep some of us folks sane, some of us folks in line. Love it. Normalizing talking about it. There's no shame in that game. No shame in my game. Yeah, this is wrestling, and yeah, Terry Funk, if you put Terry Funk in a wrestling ring, he will do something that will make the crowd go ooh and ah. He can't help it. That would have been very funny if they're just like, oh, here's light tubes. That being said, taking a bump into that step ladder, that sketchy ass looking step ladder. Oh, he's like, shit, if I hit you there, I'm gonna kill you. The glass would have been safer. That thing probably has tetanus. Dustin Red just covered in powder. That's something he does, I guess. So I understand now what he said, something about who's letting it cook now. I thought he said who's doing coke now. Onto this turned into a building site. Did anybody big ever come to the fucking conservatory? The one in Florida. Paul London trained there for a bit. I know he trained with Rudy Boy in Texas, but he also trained in Florida. Of course, there's Adam Windsor, the Royal Stud, Marty's favorite. Chris Hero did a camp there. Not like a full training, but like he did like a week at the fucking conservatory. Terry Funk did use a chicken against Dustin Rhodes. Put it on his fist. It's great. Oh. And now they're chanting EC Dub. This is probably the closest they ever got to ECW live in Germany. That's a good point. Because somebody needs to bring the rubber chicken to WrestleMania this year. So Cody can complete the whole story, holding up the belt in one hand, the rubber chicken in the other. Oh yeah, oh they're getting real excited for the Shattered Dreams.
Mitgeschickt hat für solche Situationen. Wahrscheinlich schon, aber ob es was bringt, so ein Schälchen. Ja, ich weiß schon, was du meinst. Tja, wer bringt jetzt als erster das Cover an? Terry Funk. Wirklich unglaublich gut drauf heute. Ja.
Terry Funk is doing everything in his power to redeem from that last match. This is a mess, but it's a glorious mess. I love hearing Terry Funk in like that German act. Terry Funk. They're still calling him Dustin Runnels.
Yep. Mit dem Besen hier. Der ganz großen Zahnbürste.
That's a great story, Masked Heel. I met Terry Funk about 20 years ago. I told him about how the plastic bag angle with Flair in '89 legit scared me as a 6-year-old. He gave me a slight smile and said in his voice, "That's very kind of you. The only thing that was wrong on that was I didn't finish the job on old Banana Nose." That's my awful Terry Funk impression. Also my ghost impression. Ooh, I'm a wee little ghosty. That's a great story, Mastiel. Love it. Now we're just braining each other with chairs. It was a relatively safe hardcore match other than that step ladder. And yeah, now we're just hitting each other head with chairs as hard as we can. Dustin's hair has somehow gotten blonder. Alright, Joanna, we'll see you later. Thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate you. And I will see you next week. Hello, 11 Lemon 17. Welcome. Welcome. You love the old WCW. I love you being here. Thank you so much. Hey, RMT Hawk. Welcome. Thank you for bringing the soda and the crackers. Sit down. Relax. You're too kind, Jonathan. I appreciate you. The kindness for that impression. Old callback to Peanut Head Teddy Long. Now we're just fighting in the crowd. I'm pretty sure Terry Funk just called that on the fly. And I'm trying to see if there's any security. I'm pretty sure there's no security following them. Storm and Norman, hell yeah. Okay, Doug Dillinger's just standing there, like putting his arm out. Don't, guys, come on. Come on, guys. Dustin putting his feet on the... Wait, what? It's a hardcore match. Why are you stopping it? Oh yeah, I'm sure the whole match was, but at least they could have told him, like, hey, we might go fight in the crowd. But no, Terry Funk, of course, being Terry Funk, probably just right then. It's like, that is, it's Brian Knobbs, one of the nasties, yeah. And his weird phase is like Fit Finley's hardcore soldier. Oh, jeez. What the hell? I think Terry Funk just glitched. What is going on? Good catch by Dustin. That garbage can is completely flat. Yeah, falls cut anywhere except for right by the ropes. Like, makes me wonder if, like, Terry would have pinned him in the crowd and somebody held up a rope. Yeah, Terry Funk was everything. Terry Funk, in my opinion, is the best wrestler of all time. Because he was everything great about wrestling. He could be the serious world champion. He could be the heel that popped the territory and scared you and made you cry. But he could also be the sweet, kind babyface. He could also make you laugh, and he could do the hardcore stuff. He could do every aspect of wrestling. And he almost just brained the referee. Terry Funk rules. Terry Funk forever. And he showed up everywhere. Like, everywhere. You name an era of wrestling, and almost to every single one of them, Terry Funk showed up there somewhere. Yeah, he could be Chainsaw Charlie. And that was his idea. Forever. Forever. Hell yeah, that's very cool, Vinny, that you got to work with Terry Funk. That's badass. Yeah, Terry Funk put a whole record out in Japan. And he's a great actor, as Scotland brought up. Again, here in about an hour, we're going to go over to Scotland's feed, twitch.tv/Mr. Greenmist. Chill, watch some Mardi Gras-related professional wrestling on the Mardi Gras Pro Wrestling Potluck. Here in about an hour. We're going to go raid, so just hang out here. I'll send you there, baby. I'll send you there. I don't know why I said baby. I'm not good at saying baby. Yes, Terry Funk, one of our great thespians. And now Brian Knobbs is doing mic work. Sags was retired at this point. He broke his neck and sued WCW. Led to the Kevin Nash shoot interview rant where he's like, dummy, you should have like tipped us off. We would have testified for you if you would just given us some money. But Kevin Nash is saying some stupid stuff these days, so yeah. Yes, Barbra Streisand's nose. Terry Funk hit. That is a great Terry Funk shirt, by the way.
Hier sehen wir doch einmal im Bild den Sieger. Beziehungsweise die eine Hälfte dieses Tag-Teams. Terry Funk, er und sein Tag-Team-Partner Norman Smiley haben gewonnen. Also wirklich Wahnsinn, was
these two, they look like father and son. Like this guy on the right looks like he showed up to take your kid to work day, and his dad happens to be a wrestling commentator. And they're like, yeah, we'll put you on the air. But I believe Mookie Ghana, my pal Chris Harrington, who works for AEW, brought up the last time we streamed a German show. The dude on the right, the young-looking guy, is still calling wrestling. He's one of the AEW German commentators now. They're Lynn Retzer and David Kemp. Yeah, David Kemp is, I believe, one of the AEW German commentators now. Dude stayed in the business.
World Heavyweight Title Match. Der Chosen One, Jeff Jarrett gegen Sid Vicious. Das heute hier auch noch live auf Premiere World hier bei der WCW Millennium Tour 2000.
Ich glaube, jetzt gerade können wir rübergehen zur Internetposition, denn da ist Berlin bei.
Also very respectful German fans back there, not goofing around like the Americans would be on the commentators. We're going cyber now.
Das ist die Adresse für den Live-Chat. Und bei mir jetzt der Mann, der heute Abend.
Hopefully they aren't having some of the internet issues I've been having over here that I've been trying to keep in line.
Und ich bin heute hier in Deutschland, in Oberhausen, in meinem Heimatland.
The finger things he's wearing remind me of bugles, those like little like cone-looking chips. Big fan of bugles. Yes, Sid Vicious is in the main event, defending the world title against Jeff Jarrett. Sid did rule. Last week we watched 3 Sid matches. He destroyed some dudes, including Tom Sawyer, modern day warrior.
Das ist ein Witz. Ich habe so gut geschlafen, gestern Nacht wie noch nie. Tom Gerhardt, du tust mir jetzt schon leid.
Yeah, Berlin, Alex Wright will be wrestling, that comedian that keeps coming out. Yes, Jonathan, you put one bugle on each fingertip and best. Hell yeah, thank you. Thank you for checking out my YouTube, Jake. Appreciate that. I upload as many of these streams as I can to the YouTube channel. Oh yeah, I think we're all big WCW marks. That's why we're here. So I'm glad to have you, Jake. Here we go. Here's Fit Finley. Hell yeah, that's how you know you got a good wrestling match coming. Somebody screams, "I'm gonna rip your head off." You know what I like to do with bugles? I like to take like strips of American cheese and like make little wads and then shove them inside the bugle and then eat them like a little stuffed cheese snack. And that's why I have a weight problem. Yeah, this is weird attire for your wrestler, Dave Finlay. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm a big Jonathan Mayer mark. I appreciate you. That's very kind of you. That's a good point of shirt outcomes. They should sell stuffed bugles. And don't just leave the work to chubby kids like me. Chubby kids, I'm 36. I think my 10-year-old son Noli now has a beard after that match. He's graduated 10th grade. At the end of Scott Hall. Yes, they flew over Michael Buffer for this show.
Welcome to the WCW Millennium Tour
They flew over frickin' Michael Buffer.
For the first time in professional wrestling history, our special co-feature of the evening, the Auspuff match.
The Auspuff match. Believe that's like an exhaust pipe. Yeah, there's WCW wasted money in ways that are like beyond conventional means. Berlin, the native son, the Auspuff match. They flew over Michael Buffer. Was for the Auspuff match. Yeah, even bad WCW I love watching, Drake. It's just so much fun. It's never boring, except for when you send drunks all out to wrestle for 30 minutes. Other than that, it's pretty exciting. Oh yes, no, 69.9. This was a sold show to the cable company. Look at Alex Wright getting that pyro. Alex Wright getting the Michael Buffer entrance. An Auspuff match, I believe. Again, I believe Auspuff in English is exhaust pipe. Like, I think they had a pipe, I think, is, if I remember correctly, that they could beat each other with. Yeah, I like this music. They went away from the Das Wunderkind gimmick because there was like a plan to actually push him as a serious top heel. And then they gave him the gimmick. They gave him like a posse originally. And then all the top guys were like, we're not jobbing to Alex Wright. And it just kind of killed him. When Jim Duggan's like, I'm not going to lose to that guy. But yeah, he looks like a star here. When they don't do the dumb filter on the video. And here's his opponent, I think it's Tom Gerhardt. Yeah, you have to grow up. Alex Wright had to be an adult. That's right, Vinny. Watch, I'll get a copyright strike for whatever this song is. Das Wunderkind was... I mean, it was over, like, ironically to smart fans. And, like, he got heel heat. But, like, he did have to get beyond it eventually. Yeah, Tom Gerhardt. Again, if you missed it earlier, when I explained Tom Gerhardt, I asked somebody who knew more about German pop culture than me, and they explained it. He's kind of like their version of Gallagher, their version of Carrot Top. His most famous stage act as a comedian was wearing an inflatable penis on stage, like a giant penis costume, and ejaculating on the audience. Yeah, he was WCW's German color commentator at this point. He's carrying the Auspuff. That is the Auspuff. He's recruited a posse of... okay, so the Mamalukes, I think, were the baby faces in their match, and now they're heels. And the Wall, who got beat up by Jim Duggan earlier, all dressed up like this guy. A German comedy, yeah. It must be. This guy's one of the big famous touring comedians. Also, I'm not gonna lie, those vests on like Vito and the Wall kind of look like skinhead gang wear. Yeah, that pipe is an Auspoof. Listen to this place. This is like if Larry the Cable Guy wrestled like John Cena. Or not John. Well, Alex Wright was pretty over in Germany. But yeah, the basis of this feud, I brought it up earlier, is Tom Gerhardt would go on WCW commentary in Germany and laugh at the shows and make jokes about how wrestling was fake. And Alex Wright was like, buddy, I'm gonna fight you now. The Wall is not still alive, Jake. He passed away in the mid-2000s. Unfortunately. Again, Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn is a little bit better of a comparison. Will Ospreay and Ali G. Oh my goodness. Tasha Baron Owen. I can't talk now. Working a match would be fantastic. I love how they're booing. They paid. Welcome home, Berlin. Florida is beautiful. What? What? But yeah, these people paid good money to come to a big wrestling show, and they're booing the guy who is standing up for the integrity of wrestling and cheering the guy who's like, oh, this is fake bullshit. Hello. Apparently that's his catchphrase. Tommy in the house. Yeah, apparently this dude was like a big deal in Germany. Like this was like a legit get for them. Holster in the house is better than Tommy in the house. Tom Gerhardt, he's the babyface who thinks wrestling's fake on the wrestling show. And he's accompanied by heels, two of which worked as a babyface. He worked as babyfaces earlier. And the Wall, who is in canon supposed to be German, but worked as a heel. Against Alex Wright, the hometown hero, who was a bad guy for standing up for pro wrestling on a pro wrestling show. In an Auspoof match. Yeah, the Wall was Berlin's bodyguard. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking, like, in canon, he's supposed to be German. Yeah, they had broken up at this point. Berlin and the Wall. I'm not sure if it had aired on TV in Germany yet, but yeah, it's just real weird. The whole thing's a mess. Nick Patrick seems very confused by all of this. Oh gosh. Making David Flair look well trained. Womp womp womp. Oh god! Oh jeez, okay. He put him down safe and flat, but that looked like it could have been rough. Knoxville Zayn was awesome. That's legit one of my favorite WrestleMania matches ever. That thing is a masterpiece. Oh, yep, that's Alex Wright's dad, Steve. Famous European wrestling legend. Who's just now involved in all this. Seriously, from behind, those dudes all look like they're in a skinhead gang. With the X's on the denim vests. Like, I'm sure the Harrises were like, hey, can I get some of those? We did not bump for the giant dude's big boot. Oh god, oh god, oh god, don't kill him. Patrick Stewart. Yeah, this is like when Steve-O and Chris Pontius got beat up by Umaga on Raw, if they came back and beat him up. If Johnny Knoxville could have wrestled a match when Jackass was on TV, that's like late 90s, early 2000s. I feel like back then, people, like, the wrestlers wouldn't, like, he wouldn't have been willing to, like, work. He would have been like, ah, this is all funny. And the wrestlers would have been like, oh, I hate having you here. And they would have beat him up. So it wouldn't have been him. And we've just given up on this match. Thank you for the cheers. Hell yeah. Reliable Arbiter. Sasha Baron Corbin versus Danhausen. That'd be a great celebrity tie-in match. Oh god, oh jeez. I didn't see Steve right there. I thought the rope broke. Crash Holly, that's a good one. Double DDT. Crash Holly and Johnny Knoxville would have been fun. Oh fuck. Uh-oh. Thank God. I love how whoever was the timekeeper was like, you have to look directly at me in order to stop the match, Nick Patrick. And now the Wall's going to beat Alex Wright's dad's ass. Oh my god! Oh my god is the same in every language. Jeez. They're beating your dad's ass, dude. Tom Gerhardt had to get his heat back after the match. There we go. It's always nice when you're nice and gentle and the guy forgets to sell for you. Ooh.
Johnny the Bull.
Johnny the Bull. Oh, there we go. Now we're all friends? What? Now Big Vito is going to fight the comedian and the two German heroes. Vito looks like a schmuck in just the gym shorts. There we go. Airplane spin. Trying to make German Sports Center. Hooray, all the Germans. This guy said wrestling's fake, but now we're friends. Ninja Mac versus Kyle Kinane. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. You know who would have a very funny wrestling match? Joe Pera. I think that guy would understand wrestling. But he's also so good at the Joe Pera character that it would be a blast. Joe Pera versus Orange Cassidy would be fantastic. I was always bummed that they never did any Joe Pera tie-ins on AEW TV when he had the show on Adult Swim. Finishes the talk him to sleep. There's a cool kid right there. Yeah, WCW #1. Yeah. Also, did they even use the Ospoof at all in that match? And again, a reminder, they flew Michael Buffer over for this. I agree with you, Reliable Arbiter. I agree with you. Joe Pera would own CM Punk in a promo battle. He has obtained the Auspoof. Very kind. I'm glad Alex Wright got that moment with his dad. It's just a shame it had to happen in that match. Joe Pera rules. You look up some Joe Pera stuff on YouTube. It's very funny. Alright, so we survived that. I think we just got one more match left after this, then we'll go over to Scotland stream. Hell yeah, Nathan. Get a replay of the airplane spin. I hope Tom Gerhardt has the pipe, or has passed it down to his children. Had to keep his bridges up. The only thing that would have made this match more disastrous is if Vito's balls came out. What a great national bonding moment. The Wright family and Tom Gerhardt. Michael Buffer's going to get to call the main event. It'd be very funny if they used Pinzer for the main event. These lights are a bit much.
On the WCW MILLENNIUM TOUR in Oberhausen.
Good job. Use the accent, Michael. Look at you, Michael Buffer. Look at you. Yeah, the bald guy is Alex Wright's dad, Stevie Ray. Yeah, he was in We Are Dynamite. Doo, doo, doo. Yeah, if only that was the main event. That would have been awesome. You only get to see WCW twice a year, and that's your main event for one of the shows. Watch, Michael Buffer sues me for showing him doing his catchphrase on a Twitch stream. There we go, Pyro. Those CWA music videos are amazing. Oh. Good on them for getting the right sound bites. Exactly, Scotland. Double main events are only double main events because somebody has fragile ego. It was Jeff Jarrett. That's exactly what I was thinking of Scotland. Can't both be headliners. You can both be sensitive. Yeah, Hogan had made events in his contract. The Demon through Kiss. Kiss had a contract with WCW where the Demon had to have a certain amount of main events. Jeff Jarrett at this point was the leader of the NWO, and the NWO was him and the Harris Twins. The Chosen One. And there was I think it was Starrcade '94 had a triple main event. One went on in the opener, one went on in the middle, one went on at the end. Again, they had advertised Kevin Nash for this tour. They advertised Goldberg for this tour. They advertised DDP for this tour. I think they advertised Hogan for this tour. Yes. The Kiss Demon, yeah. Kiss had a deal with WCW where the Demon got a certain amount of main events, so I think it was the second match on Super Brawl 2000, Kiss versus, or Demon versus The Wall, was announced as a special main event. And here he comes, the master and the ruler of the world, Sid Vicious. It looks like the Orange Cassidy pyro. Just those little streamer pyro things. He is not 7 feet tall. Half the brain and half the pyro. That's right, Master. He's just punching every hand. Every hand. The WCW Beltmeister. Hell yes. Scotland, I know you ring announce. You should steal that. Next time you do a show for the champion, call them the Beltmeister. Hell yes, this Saturday in Haverstraw, you do that. The Beltmeister. Sid is having so much fun playing Smiley Happy Heel. This is great. Yeah, Sid rules. Beltmeister making copies. Boom, 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 boom.
Ja, dieser Mann, der sieht schon beängstigend aus. Sid Vicious. Ein Riese. Aber der Mann, der bekannt ist für den Stroke.
Mickey J's having a lot of trouble getting that belt unfastened. Very fun. I think he's holding it upside. Yeah, he's holding it upside down. Hell yes. Always love that. This is our main event. World title match. Jeff Jarrett and Sid. Yes, this was this same time period where he had his weird student cult of white pants, black tank top, blonde dudes. This is just a couple weeks after that taping. Sid had so much presence, so much charisma, and he would do some crazy things to some of those enhancement guys. There we go. Jeff Jarrett and Sid. Gotta give the Germans what they want. And what they want is Sid. Again, is nobody watching the other matches on these shows? Just Dustin Rhodes did this like 2 or 3 matches ago. Yeah, Sid, from the beginning of his WCW run, he was getting better reactions than most of the roster as a heel. There's no German word for chokeslam, no German word for powerbomb. Oh jeez, through the dude.
Bräuchten wir jeden einzelnen NWO-Fan hier in der Halle. Lock-up, gewaltiger Niederschlag.
Lock-up.
Ja.
Yeah, German accents make even a lock-up sound very dramatic.
So irrsinnig cool.
Sid going to pull some hair, grab some trunks. Oh, right in his tailbone. Yeah, that's right. That was really where they did the babyface Skyscrapers reunion while Sid was in the Horseman as a heel.
Ja, da hat sich eben gerade das Steißbein gefreut. Das war eine unangenehme Landung.
Yeah, it's different time period. Of course it's different. Dude, the Jeff Jarrett AEW run has been such a blast. Like he's doing all the little things that are missed these days. And he's just having so much fun out there. It's great. It is complex. That was clever, that's right, commentator. Yeah, Sid, it was hard to book Sid as a heel because people just love Sid. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, Sid was his own worst enemy. You said it right, Masked Heel. At the end of the day, Sid always got in his own way. It would have been interesting seeing babyface Sid versus heel Vader on top in WCW. In like 93, 94. Sid, there's a camera right there, buddy. You gotta make some sort of contact.
Ich bin entsetzt. Also Sid Vicious ist hier nicht mal bloß der verteidigende Champion.
Oh gosh, there we go.
Der Chef im Ring.
Uh-oh.
Angezählt von Mickey J. Wenn er bis 10 gezählt hat, dann kann das Match abgebrochen werden, aber das würde natürlich Titelverteidigung für Sid Vicious bedeuten. Ja, vielleicht einfach ein bisschen was anderes ausprobieren.
We're already going for the choke slam. Oh, right in the nutsticles.
Sehr, sehr clever von dem Chosen One, Jeff Jarrett. Dieser Cheap Shot, dieser Tritt, ja, der hat gesessen.
Und auch klasse, wie er hier den Referee hinters Licht geführt hat. Ja, das war einfach ein wahnsinnig harter Elbow.
You know, it had to have been rough to be Jeff Jarrett here, having to be a heel getting heat on a guy that big. Like Sid having to look vulnerable. He's like twice Jeff's size. There were a lot of nut shots. Remember, this was peak Attitude Era, where like nobody gave a shit what the ref was seeing. They would just hit each other in the balls all the time. Double J has some great punches. I remember that when he came back for like that week or so in the WWE in '99 or 2019 or whatever, where like he worked with Elias and his punches just blew everybody else's away. But Sid in ECW was wild. Those fans, as much as any other set of fans loved Sid, the ECW fans loved Sid. Yeah, you couldn't work in Memphis if you didn't have good punches. You wouldn't survive. That's what that style was based on. There we go, another chin lock. Almost, it was more of a sleeper hold, but still. Chin locks for everyone.
Ganz unglaublich gut und treffsicher heute. Ja. Nochmal hier ganz klar die Ermahnung.
I think this is also like the third or fourth time we've seen the arm up and down spot on the same show. 2. His arm goes down. Oh, Jeff's the champion now. There we go. Sid, feeding off your energy, crowd. Wake up. Yeah, those Memphis dudes had a way of working matches around throwing punches, where they could throw a lot of them, but they still all meant something. Oh, and there's another nut shot right in front of the referee. Another one. Sitting up. He's scissoring. Big old big boot. Cutting to somebody bending over in their seat. There we go. He knows he doesn't have to do too much. He's Sid. And the fans love Sid. Yes. Oh God. What? Did they even touch Mickey J? Yeah, it's a wrestling main event in 2000. They had to bump the ref.
Jetzt schnell. Jetzt brauchen wir Mickey J.
2, 3, das wäre eigentlich der Titelwechsel.
1, 2, no. Double J can't believe it. It's like he hit his finisher in NXT. Now you just punch the ref. Why not? Not like he DQ'd you for literally anything else. Oh, Mickey J hit his back on the apron. Oh, gosh. Oh, he's going to do the stroke on... Oh, that would have been great if he did the stroke on his knees. Yeah, he... Oh, technician Sid Vicious. Oh, this was that point where they were trying to erase Benoit from WCW. So Sid did the crossface. It's wild that Benoit had to be erased from multiple promotions. The crowd's chanting Goldberg. He is not there. They've put a spotlight on the entrance so people will know that somebody's coming out. There we go. I always hated how Jeff would never clean up the ring. So the ref would... That's how you do your surprise sting. You don't play his music. You just have him beat the shit out of people with a bat. With the ref, he beat the referee up. Beat the Nazis up. Hell yeah, fanzine. Ooh. That's awesome. I'm very jealous of you. Getting to see Sting in his last match. Sting helps Sid win, even though the ring is littered with wood. Did he say Sting Vicious? That'd be very funny. And they're playing Sting's music. Sting got painted up just to do that. I also believe this is the only show on this tour that Sting worked. Like I mentioned, like the Mamalukes and the Harris Brothers main evented some of these shows on this tour. There we go. That's our main event. Sid against Sting. I don't want to hold Joel too much longer. There's nothing else that really happens here. Of course, make sure if you've been watching and don't, please follow me. If you'd like to subscribe, that's great. I'm not going to beg you for it. I'm back on Sunday this week. Another Off the Grid stream. And then I'll be back here next Tuesday for WCW Deep Cuts Live. We're watching WCW Saturday Night. from February 1992, so it'll be way better than this. But I'll go ahead. Again, you'll get to see what we're watching Sunday, what we're watching Tuesday, and then we're going to go ahead and raid Scotland's stream, Mr. Green Mist, the Mardi Gras potluck. So I'll pop in the chat over there, but thank you all so much for watching. And as always, like I say, even if you don't make it here, I hope you make it the next Tuesday. 7 days, that's all we're asking. Thank you all so much for joining me over the last almost 3 hours. I appreciate you all greatly. My name's Tom Gray, and this has been WCW Deep Cuts Live.
InSports presents the event that's generated both controversy and concern. Bodyguards versus Bandits in the ultimate professional wrestling match, hosted by Boom Boom Mancini.